Hello there and welcome back. Today we got the Athlon XP on the test bench here. We got a motherboard is a GIGABYTE G7 and Force Ultra 400 chipset. We've got two 512 sticks of DVDRW CL2 by Kingston, mATX support, deep switches for multiplier and for FSB. That switches from 100 FSB, which is off, to on. It switches to 133, 166 and 200. This is the P4 style connector, the CPU power connector. The video card is a GeForce 4 Ti 4200 8GB with 128 megabytes of memory, and it's made by MSI. It's actually in pretty good condition. It's almost new. Got it for free as a donation. This board also supports dual channel ID, but the Pro 2 version of this board actually supports ID RAID, I think, and also maybe SATA. Yeah, I think this is what these are for. And actually you can still see the SATA on there, but this version of the board doesn't have them. The CPU under there is a XP 2000 plus. It's a 1700 plus overclock to 2000 plus speeds, and the cooler is actually pretty decent. It has copper core and it's enough for these sockets for 6 CPUs. The motherboard has 4 onboard USB ports, an onboard LAN, which is pretty cool. 2 optional here. They are all USB 2.0, I think. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this board. It has pretty decent onboard sound by Realtek, and yeah, let's turn it on. The power supply is the VGA 600 PQ power supply. The hard drive is a Maxtor Diamond Max, I think, 200GB RD drive from 2004. The board is from 2002 and 2003, and the GPU and CPU are from 2002. So yeah, let's turn it on. And let's see the post screen here. So as you can see, XP 2000 plus, gigabyte of RAM and DDR dual channel. This board actually supports only 3 gigabytes of RAM, which might be a platform limitation because you have 4 slots and technically could fit up to 4 gigabytes, but more than 3 gigabytes I imagine won't post. As you can see here, we have the IDE devices, and this is the power management setup. This is the frequency and voltage control. This is for overclocking, and you can do 2000 plus speeds with stock voltage, so you didn't mess with this. This is PC health status, hardware monitoring. As you can see now, I'm running at around 50 C, and it won't get even under load. It's around 52 degrees Celsius because the CPU doesn't really get hotter when it's under load. That's how these old CPUs work. They're always running at the rated frequency of like 1.6 gigahertz for this one. This is my alarm when it reaches 80 degrees, which it never does, and CPU fanfare warning. Here I have the overclocks. We've got 133% on memory and 150 megahertz on CPU, which is what it's required for an XP 2000 plus speed overclock. because it reaches pretty close to the XP 2000 Plus. It reaches 1.65 gigahertz, and the 2000 Plus is at 1.66. The stock temperature for a 1700 Plus is 1.467, so it's actually pretty noticeable gain in performance. We've got 400 megahertz RAM there, and the latest BIOS from 2004, I think, for this motherboard. Let's save and exit, and now let's boot into XP Service Pack 3. So as you can see, we booted, and that's the boot chime. Keep turning here, decided to start. Let's close that. And now we got CPU Z and handling for 32. This CPU is 32 bits, so obviously 64-bit applications will not work on this. We've got a CPU there, motherboard, RAM, and the GPU. And this is the Palomino core, XP, Athlon XP. There are also the Thoroughbred. The Thunderbird core was for the standard Athlon, non-XP. There's also the Barton, and there are some more, I think. There's also the Athlon XPM and the Athlon MP, which is the dual socket version of this of socket 462. It's actually very cool. Unfortunately, it's a bit too expensive for me. Now I've got the cache, which is 256 kilobytes on this. The motherboard here, Enforce 2, the Enforce 2 Ultra 400, and MCP. This is the South Bridge. This is the North Bridge. 1024 megabytes, CL2.5, and FSB to DRAM ratio of 3 to 4. SPD here for the RAM. Oh, it actually doesn't recognize the 4th slot CPU, which is actually very interesting. 2.5 volts for the DDR. And yeah, this is the graphic, this is the chip, the NV28, and here we can do like a benchmark. Let's see. So the benchmark is over, and almost 12,000 points for FPU, floating point unit, and 3,200 almost for CPU speed, compared to like let's do so it's like basically beat a 386 or 486. Well, let's try a K6. Let me find one. So the AMD K62 plus 500. Yeah, and it's actually in FPU speed. Oh, didn't know this. The bar here shows like 75%, but it's actually much lower. Crazy how how fast tech was evolving at the time. And actually, this CPU can browse the web, but very slowly. And loading YouTube, the page, it's very slow, takes minutes. But if you just search for a specific video here, so let me, the E5200 overclock video I did. Let's see if 240p kinda works, 144p is better. But yeah, that's because YouTube is not very optimized for this old hardware, and yeah, because this PC here can actually play back 720p even. And yeah, it kinda works. Yeah, let's maybe try 240p. And the hard drive is working hard. yeah, I don't think we're gonna get far. So let's let's see the CPU usage. I think it's 100%. Yeah, it's 100% and only 452 megabytes of RAM are being used. Pretty cool. Let's close out of this. And one nice thing I like doing on the internet on this machine is browsing all sites. So let me think of, so you go to the oldnet.com. Let me think of a site that's in English. I think mATX will work. Gotta add an exception. Good. Now we go to mcix.com. This time let's go 2003. 2003. Oh my god. And let's go. It's actually pretty responsive on these old sites, obviously. Let's see if we can find an Athlon XP on here. This is for the socket 462. Socket 754, not 462. That's the first Athlon 64 socket. It's actually pretty cool. This is a game, Halo Combat Evolved. And this, I think, yeah, it's a socket 462 mainboard here. This Soltec SLM V400 Oh, look, an Athlon XP 2500 plus with 412K of cache. Yeah, that's the maximum on this socket. Pretty cool. And then this is a 3200 plus Athlon 64 for socket 754. See if we can find someone on the processors here. Yeah, Athlon 64, and the date is the Athlon 64, Athlon XP 2000 plus. There are no 64s anymore. I said 64, but 2000 plus here. As you can see, the price has been reduced because the MSRP is around $180, maybe more, down to $100 by 2003. Let's see what the price was in 2002 when it actually released. So actually this is a 2200 plus. This is the 1800 plus. Pretty expensive actually. This is CAD, so this is Canadian dollars. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Processors here. Intel P4 socket 478. Here let's see, 1900 plus, 2100 plus, 1600 plus. No 2000. Oh, this is the Athlon MP. Pretty expensive, so these CPUs have to be bought in pairs, I think, for ideal usage. So around more than $500, almost $600 for the CPU. Crazy. 2000 plus here, $180, yes. Pretty cool. Now there's also, let's go on the main page and wait for the images to load. Oh, 7.5. I think that's because we clicked on the, yeah. So this is actually pretty fun to go browse on these old websites. But yeah. And this is my collection of games for this PC here. Also have a very large collection of music here. This is all the music that's on here. Yeah, it's a lot. Actually, let me search for a 720p video. Maybe I have one here to show you that it can actually play back 720p video. So this is a Linus Tech Tips video of him, his older computers, which I thought was fitting for this PC. As you can see here, this is 720p video. Let's click the playback button.
This is still Athlon XP, so same CPU.
So actually, build, as you can see, it's pretty smooth.
That's pretty good. I feel like you guys aren't looking closely enough. Oh my god! I saw that.
And it's actually pretty good for watching locally stored videos up to 720p. 1080p won't really work on this. I mean, it's 100% CPU usage, maybe 10 FPS, 20, something like that. Not really good. But another good use for this computer is all games. So actually, let's start with Half-Life. I actually really like this game. Finished it like 3 times, but can't remember where I left off on this computer. Just save. So that's the iconic Half-Life intro. And as you can see, so this is not the this is Half-Life, not the Steam version. This is just the OG version. So video options here, yeah, everything. There's not a lot of settings you can do for Half-Life. That's the maximum resolution it supports. This is a 1080p monitor, and I'm looking to get a 1280 by 1024 one pretty soon for these old computers. But yeah, and the resolution it's actually running at, it's like 1680 by 1900 by 1650 or something like that. I can do 1080p, but there are some artifacts on the screen. It's really not meant for the resolution. Load game here. Oh, we've got hostiles. Pretty decent progress here. Let's go do free. Oh god. So as you can see, it runs pretty well on this. Oh god, I don't have ammo, and it's pretty hard to control here. God damn. Pretty hard to do one-handed. So yeah, I died. But yeah, pretty difficult to do one-handed. Let's maybe switch to a more peaceful part of the game. Let's cancel. Yeah. Let's go to, we've got hostiles 5 minutes prior, I think this is. No, it's the same thing. But yeah, as you can see, the game runs pretty well. I think 60 FPS. Obviously, this is the Game of the Year edition, maybe from like 1999. The game is from 1998, so yeah, it's pretty easy to run. For this, it'll run on a K62, K63, or even something like that. No issue. And, GeForce TNT or whatever, Riva. But yeah, GTA Vice City, this is from actually 2002, everything. So yeah, 2002 should be pretty pretty demanding for this hardware, especially at this resolution. So let's load into my save game here and let me show you. So let me first show you the options here. We've got display setup. We've got brightness, pretty bright here. Draw distance set to lower setting here, like 4, because this resolution is actually pretty big, 1900 I think by 1650. So for this old hardware, yeah, that's in 2002 that was a big resolution, 1024 by 768 or 1280 by 1024 would have been more common. But yeah, we've got widescreen support. Oh, and it's actually lower, it's 1680, but it's still pretty big of a resolution for this old hardware. Yeah, it's pretty high. The setting I'm set to high. Pretty much load game. And yes, let's wait for it to load. This hardware is pretty fast actually, and as you can see, this is more like 30 FPS, and if I lower the resolution, obviously the FPS will go to like 60 easily. Let's turn on the radio. Flash FM is one of my favorite stations. There we go. While driving, it's actually a bit better. So if I lower the resolution here, and yeah, I can actually get around 60 FPS. But the game looks really good on this high resolution. So keep it like this. Pretty hard to drive here. One-handed and looking through the camera. But yeah. So this game runs very well on the CPU actually, and GPU. RAM is not an issue. 1 GB is plenty for these old early 2000s games. And yeah. And one of the reasons why I built this PC was for play these old games on appropriate hardware, because if you play them on even like a quad to quad, it feels a bit too modern, because that's, for me, I run Windows Server 2008 on that, and it feels way too modern. We've also got Need for Speed Underground here, 2003. That's the intro there.
My name is Mark Devella.
Let's keep that. What I actually use the core to quad for. Hold on, let me turn on the music. There we go. So what I actually use the core to quad for is Crisis and stuff like that. Late 2000s games, because it feels more suited to that. And let's do a random race real quick. Actually, could do free roam, maybe, I don't remember. Let's do this race. Let's go to easy, because I'm actually not gonna finish it, just for a quick test. I've got the Honda Civic here. It's actually a bit too loud here. As you can see, I think we're running on 1280 by 1024 here as the max resolution. If everything, almost everything on high, medium to high settings, getting around, getting close to 60 FPS actually, getting around 40, That's what it feels like. I think I should get see if I can get fraps working on this to actually monitor the FPS, but it feels pretty good. Oh shit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually, let's try to do to get some smoke on the screen here. Yeah, as you can see, it handles this game no issue. Drops to like 30 FPS, but it's pretty good considering this game is from 2003 and the hardware is from 2002. So not the latest gen hardware for this game. That would be an Athlon 64 socket 754 and a GeForce FX. I actually don't really like that generation from Nvidia, so like an ATI 9000 series, an ATI 9800 Pro. I think it's in fact let's not say, let's just quit to Windows. Yes. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed this PC, and yeah, I ended up going with AMD over the Pentium 4 because yeah, it runs cooler, it's got more IPC instructions per clock. I think it's an overall better platform for early 2000s game. Intel with the Pentium 4, I really don't like what they did with it. I think it was pretty much a failure, and financially it wasn't, because it made them a lot of money, but in terms of against AMD, it pretty much was, especially in the Athlon 64 days. They were really not that great in my opinion, so I ended up going with the AMD socket 462 here, and I'm pretty happy with it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.